I'm honored to be able to read this resolution again. This is wonderful to a stalwart and to the City Council. This is a salute to George Blakemore on the occasion of his 80th birthday. And it reads as follows. Whereas, should you have occasion to attend a meeting of a Chicago or Cook County legislative body, there's a good chance that you have seen, and more importantly, heard the oratory of George Blakemore, an outstanding and diligently concerned citizen who has recently joined the ever-expanding ranks of this city's octogenarians. And whereas on February 19, 1942, George started life as the second eldest of 5 children and only son born to George and Ellen Blakemore in Butler Place, a public housing apartment complex in Fort Worth, Texas, built by the WPA during the Franklin Delano Roosevelt administration. His family moved out when he was 3 years old. George Blakemore Sr. worked on the railroads and later became the owner of several businesses, including a pool hall, shoe shine parlor, and gas station. His mother was also in business, owning property that she rented out in addition to her duties as a stay-at-home mom and housewife. And whereas young George had all manner of odd jobs, from a summer of picking cotton to being a busboy, a dishwasher, a shoe shine man, and a convention circuit worker. Since George came from a long line of educators, including sisters, uncles, and an aunt who started a privately owned black elementary school in Fort Worth, it was only natural that he followed his family into the field of education. He began his teaching career as a high school political science and history teacher in Fort Worth, Texas. He taught political science in a high school in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, before migrating to Chicago, Illinois. George continued his teaching career as a political science teacher in the Chicago public school system. And whereas George also inherited his family's entrepreneurial spirit as a street vendor on Maxwell Street. His drive and determination took him all over the nation, selling goods and wares, of which I bought today, by the way, from coast to coast.
I gave him a discount.
He gave me a discount, but I still bought it. It set me back quite a bit. However, for the past 30 years, George has worked as an engaged citizen watchdog, monitoring Illinois, state, and local government bodies. Known for his outspoken knowledge on the issues and no-nonsense attitude, George Blakemore had a tremendous impact on Illinois government. His commitment as an activist helped pave the way for the reinstatement of the public's right to speak at public meetings in city and county government. Again, I have to say this again. This one part is extremely important to all of us. His engagement as an activist helped pave the way for the reinstatement of the public's right to speak at public meetings in city and county government. That's George, y'all. Among his many accomplishments in the political arena, George forged the way for the recognition of the late Harold Washington by spearheading the renaming of the Harold Washington Library elevated stop in his honor. He has filed numerous lawsuits against businesses for failure to provide reasonable accommodations, fought for and got benches for the public enjoyment at Mariano Park, attended the first Black National Convention held in Indiana, and worked with the Jesse Jackson for President campaign. And whereas George Blakemore continues his advocacy for the community, he is also a prolific artist who loves to paint and represent his art in the colorful clothing that he wears. The Honorable Roderick Sawyer, Alderman of the 6th Ward, has informed this august body of the significant milestone achieved by this exceptional Chicagoan, and therefore be it resolved that we, the mayor and members of the City Council, gather together this 23rd day of February 2022, do hereby express our heartfelt congratulations to George Blakemore on the occasion of his 80th birthday and extend our very best wishes for fulfillment in all of his future endeavors, and be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to George Blakemore.
Yeah.